I am Emilio Perucca. I am a member of the Executive Committee of the International League Against Epilepsy, and I'm also speaking on behalf of the Joint Task Force of the Commission on European Affairs of the International League Against Epilepsy and the Regional Committee of the International Epilepsy Bureau. They've been involved in an initiative that I'm going to be discussing, and that is the European Declaration on Epilepsy. Before I go into that, I'd like to say a few words about the unsatisfactory state of epilepsy care in the European Union and the European WHO region at large. In this region, we have about 6 million people who have epilepsy. And it has been estimated by the World Health Organization that the cost of epilepsy in this part of the world is as much as 20 billion euros. The healthcare in various countries of the European region is highly fragmented. Resources are unsatisfactory in the majority of the countries. There are huge differences across areas in the level of epilepsy care. This is, as an example of that, for example, we know that in 60% of the countries of the European region, there is not an ongoing surgical epilepsy program. Additionally, we know that we have areas in which the treatment gap is as high as 90%. We have the problem of stigma, prejudice, and legislation that discriminates against people with epilepsy in some of the countries. And perhaps as important as that, a dismal state of funding for epilepsy research across the European region. Now, to address all these concerns, a group of 5 members of the European Parliament, led by an Irish Member of Parliament, Gay Mitchell, have put together what is the Written Declaration of Epilepsy, which was approved by the European Parliament recently. And basically, this declaration calls for the European Union and the European, specifically Commission and the European Council and member states in the European Union, although this also has repercussions for governments of other countries in the European region and even beyond the European region, to encourage research and innovation into the early diagnosis, the prevention and treatment of epilepsy. Most important, prioritize epilepsy, recognizing that it represents a major burden in terms of quality of life and in terms of costs for the population in the European region. It calls on European member states to ensure that initiatives are taken to make sure that people with epilepsy have equal quality of life as the general population, and also to ensure that legislation is passed to protect the rights of these people. We consider this declaration to be extremely important as a starting point in the political agenda, because we really think with the support of the European Parliament, we can now go to the European Union, support right claims for adequate funding for epilepsy research across the Union. We can also go to the European Commission and ask for advocacy initiatives to support the rights of people with epilepsy across the region. And equally important, go to the national governments in the European Union, in countries outside the European Union, and with this declaration, lobby for improved services for people with epilepsy in the region.